Did you miss me? I've missed you guys. I know 7 p.m. foam rolling is coming back, but not until Fitness Protection opens officially and completely. We're getting ready to launch the beta version just to make sure it works, just to make sure the back end's okay, just to make sure that the processes all flow as smoothly as I want them to for a very seamless user experience. So in these few minutes before we start foam rolling, or at least I start foam rolling and you guys can answer questions, you guys can ask questions, I wanted to talk through kind of like what is happening. I know that all of that sort of came out of nowhere. And it seems like it happened rather quickly, but in reality I've been thinking about this for the better part of 7 years. So in 2013, I mean, if you've trained with me for any period, you've probably heard the story about how I was busted, I was broken, I had Irish twins, and then we moved to altitude. And the fun thing about altitude is they take away 2/3 of your oxygen, and then you have to still function. And on top of functioning, I had to heal from Irish twins and start training for the New York City Marathon. And I immediately knew I was going to need help with this because I knew I'd never been this unfit, and even climbing stairs was really tricky. So at that point, I went out and I started looking for a coach. And what I didn't understand at the time was that, I knew, even though I've been running my entire life, I had no idea where to start to bring myself back from where I was. I had no idea if even a marathon 6 months from then was possible. And what I came to realize was neither did anyone else. Run coaches tend to, their very specific niche of the fitness industry, meaning it is one thing to take someone that is already fit and then make them really ready in a very specific way for a marathon or performance in another distance event. It is another thing entirely to take a person that isn't already at a certain period of fitness and bring them back to the point where they're ready to start training for something. And if you were to visualize it like that's a cutoff, most personal trainers play in this space where getting you to it's their specialty to get you to baseline. Strength conditioning professionals. And then run coaches are for people that have already reached a certain baseline. And what you do in that, in the basement is really literally how I think of it. Sorry, I know it's hard to visualize. I'm a visual person. So if you think of it, it's the baseline. Getting ready to train, and then training. This is very specific. So all the run coaches I found were like, go reestablish, go get fit, and then call me. I'm like, well, I know I need help getting fit. That's where you come in. They were like, no, that's not what we do. And almost every run coach that I called, I was like, look, I'm not new to this. I'm a marathoner. I've been running my entire life. I've done this before. I've done all of this before. I just don't know what to do right now. And they were like, neither do we. Because where I was coming from, my experience didn't matter. None of it. And so when I talk about training age versus experience, that is from personally if ever you stood before me and thought I was demeaning you by saying actually your experience is this, but your training age is this, that was not intended to demean in any way. I've been on the other end of that conversation and I know how much it sucks. I know that it wasn't my fault. At that point, I was still assigning a moral value to it, because we tend to, right? Fit people work hard, fat people don't. It's very binary and gross and disgusting the way that we talk about these things. So no wonder I walked into this situation feeling very defensive. So I remember how angry I was because at the time I was super, super constrained. We had hella student loans. My husband and I had gone to grad school independently, never really intending to fall in love, get married, or have one baby, much less 4. In a very short period of time. And when we took out those loans at the time, it was $2,500 for each of us, right? I never intended to leave the job market, neither did he. So there was no stupidity going on there. It was just like, oh wow, we're pregnant. Oh wow, I got laid off. Oh wow, we're moving to Houston. Boom, all within a 3-week period. It was a lot. It was a lot, especially on a new marriage. So I tell you that to tell you this. We was poor. $5,000 of debt on one income alone was really hard to do. So when this guy told me when my friends at New York Roadrunners said, hey, here's an entry to the New York City Marathon. Come up here for a weekend. We know if your husband's a consultant, you've probably got some frequent flyer miles. Use those. Come here. We'll do things we've done before, and we're going to have some fun. And I was like, I am so unfit. I can't do this thing I've done before. Oh, my God. This gift was pressure, and it felt like a nightmare. So when I went to this guy and said, well, not just this guy. I went to several people, to be clear, and they were very kind. Nobody was rude. Nobody was mean. No one made me feel bad. I felt bad walking into the situation, but I was asking for help that they literally did not know how to give. So all of them said roughly the same thing. I think you should hire a personal trainer and then come back to me when you're fit again. I can help you get ready. And I'm like, well, how long is it going to take? I don't know. What do you? I mean, it depends on how hard you want to work. I'm like, I'll do whatever. I just don't know what to do or where to start. But I knew for sure I was never going to be able to come up with the money to work with a personal trainer. That was a huge expense. Like, coming up with the $30 required for a babysitter to go meet that guy that night had been a stretch. So coming up with sitter money for 2 very small children on top of like the money for the personal trainer and the regularity that would have been required, it was just completely out of the question. I was like, I don't understand why I can't get fit by running. I thought I have maintained fitness for most of my life through nothing but running and strength when required. So I was so angry at that answer. That was what sent me down the rabbit hole initially, being like, fine, I will become the coach I want to hire. And if someday I get to do this, I am never going to charge more than a price that I could not have afforded back then. So I'm committed to keeping this priced very reasonably, making it as scalable as possible. But in order to achieve those 2 aims, I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently than I've been doing before. But before I get there, let's chat a little bit about what's coming. And this is a reward for, or at least I consider this a reward for everyone who's been training with me for a while, who made the leap to come here and get a Twitch account. I love this medium. I love this platform. I'm not going to use it less. I love the interactive. Even though sometimes we get people in here that probably like do and say weird things, as long as I have a moderator that can help me control that flow, it's still a really good experience for everyone around. So as a reward for everyone that still pays attention when you get Twitch notifications that says, hey, Coach MK is going live, run. This is the grand plan. I'm not going to answer more questions about it until it's ready to go. This is going to be the sole time I will discuss part of this vision that I've been trying to pull together since 2013. So, because it all ties into something else that is much bigger, but that's going to take a few years to roll out. When I told y'all that I was coming back from a year in bed with big plans, I was not kidding. Hello, I missed you, Gretchen. Thank you for being here. So here we go. These are the 3 phases throughout. As someone who has been running since I was 6 years old, I know it's really tricky for you guys because until you get to the point that you want to hire a coach, it becomes, do I really need one? And the answer is yes, because we answer questions, we keep you going, we set the course, we tell you what to do. It is wonderful to have a GM. If you listen to, there was a podcast recently with Julie Foodie, where she talks with Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach. And Abby talks about leaving professional soccer and says, on her way out the door, she asked the GM, could you please still send me his schedule? It would be so nice. I will forget to do things. You were always so great at telling me like when to change the oil in my car and to make sure that I got my uniforms to the dry cleaner or whatever. And she said that is the thing, the aspect of being told what to do, of having someone else make the plan for her that she missed the most. And I'm like, that is exactly, we don't need to be in training mode all the time, but there's something beautiful about having a plan 24/7 and just kind of knowing what to do, opting in a very gentle way to something. It shouldn't always be like I only get a plan when I'm ready to commit and I'm super aggressive. We've been looking at it wrong. As someone that has never run professionally, that has never run on a competitive basis, that does not consider herself to be an athlete for precisely that reason, there's never truly been a competitive aspect with other people to my running. It's always been about what do I want. It's been super navel gazing, even though I hate that phrase. There's nothing wrong with looking at your own damn navel and knowing what you want out of anything you choose to put yourself into. But we tend to talk it down in this culture as selfish. It's okay. It is stupid to enter into anything not knowing what you want to get out of it or what you need to have. It's the opposite of selfish. It's the best investment you could possibly make to think about what do I need to get before you go. But I digress. As someone, usually when people hire a coach, they want the best coach possible. They look for the coachiest coach. They want the one who has the best track record, who knows the most. And I will be the first to tell you, I've been doing this for 5 years. I am a housewife with an MBA that is underemployed and has been for the better part of a decade. But I have been running for 3. I've been running for 3.5 decades on sheer luck and fear, because my dad had that heart attack when I was really, really little, and it was the fear of God was literally put into us. If you stop running, you may die. This is exactly what you need to do, and you need to do it for the rest of your life. I pay attention to the American Heart Association guidelines, and I implicitly bake them into all of my training plans. But I digress. When I think about usually when you hear like a professional runner talk about how they moved through their running career, it looks nothing like what mine has looked like. And I'm willing to bet that mine looks more like your experience in your life than anything else you'll ever see. So when I tell my story, we can draw a straight line back to you in a very easy to grasp way. The 3 phases I have been in pretty consistently throughout my life, no matter what has happened. I've either been at ground zero or not really where I wanted to be yet, rebuilding. I have been in a place that I didn't mind, with a pretty firm foundation that I wanted to maintain, with different options to upgrade when necessary. Because remember, we can't be in a training cycle all the time. We burn out, we get hurt, we get bored, we get exhausted, right? But during all of that, you maintain 20 all year round, and then only specialize and take the up ramp into like marathon training or getting ready for a really fast 5K or whatever at the last minute when it's necessary. What most people do is take too much time off in the off season, too much time off in between, and expect to come back where they were, and it doesn't work that way. So I've either been rebuilding, maintaining, or I've been a runner interrupted, and I have this trademark now. This program will be the last one that I roll out because it's going to be the most interesting and the most complicated. But after spending a year in bed, that was when I needed the coach the most, and it was when I was least able to find one. This is the period when I needed a coach the second most, and I was least able to find one. These people are a dime a dozen, but you guys, generally speaking, only hire a coach when you're in a training cycle. So I am going to wait to roll out the training cycles. I'm going to start grabbing people here, here, and here. If you are broken, I have a program coming for you. If you are coming back from being broken, I have a transition program just for you that'll get you back to wherever it is you wanted to be. And if you are coming out of a training plan in the near future, I got a plan to help you maintain all that fitness you built without burning out in the off season. And pretty soon I'm going to have an up ramp for you. I've said it before, I'll say it again. As long as you maintain the way that I have maintained for the better part of my adult life, you only need 10 weeks to sharpen up for a marathon and 6 to sharpen up for a half or any shorter distance. It's amazing. Everything is easy when you're already fit. This is the hard stuff. And I am here for the hard stuff. I am here for the difficult conversations, and you need less than you think you do. It's just really hard to find. You're not needy. You never were. Your needs were very simple and very eloquent. And I'm here to take care of all of you. I cannot wait to get started. Yay, we're in fuego. So that is that. If you are interested in being part of any of the beta tests, and the beta test is going to be really coming soon. We're going to start with this product, and this is going to be rolling out relatively soon. If you want to be a part of that, info@coachedandloved.com. If you think Runner Interrupted sounds really, really awesome, this is the last rollout, but it will be coming out this year. info@coachedandloved.com. Email me and put the title of the program you care about in the subject line. I will reach back out. My team, I got a team. We will reach back out to you and let you know when these beta tests are opening. They're not going to be very large. I can't promise I can accommodate everyone in the beta, but there will be room for everyone in the actual program. My goal is to roll this out as quickly as possible because at least I got 6 more weeks with Violet at home, and then she starts daycare, and from then we're going to be cooking with Crisco. Yay! I'll write that down for you, even though I'm sure no one can see it because the camera's really far back. There you go. Sweet. So that's it for now. Congratulations. If you followed my instructions a long time ago and got on Twitch like I'm pretty pleased with Sugar on Top asked everyone to do, you know first, you know best, and you know most. Because to tell you what, when I started making my plans, I kept them all in here. I kept my mouth shut. I talked to the attorneys and no one else. I got trademarks coming. I got patents pending. I got plans for you. Yay! Let's foam roll, shall we? If you got questions, now's a good time to throw them in the chat. You've got me for about 10 more minutes. And then the kids, we're having a slipper party. Woo! That is that. Yeehaw! Really want to focus all of your body's weight on top of the point where your shin meets the roller. Want to get deep in there as humanly possible. If this feels good, stretching your calves out. Take a minute to dig your knuckles in there into your Achilles tendon. That's sweet. Hands down. We do not want to be, this is not an ab exercise. Do not try to convert it into such. We're going to be keeping your body on top of the point where your shin hits the roller, all the way up to the ankle, all the way back to the knee. Idea here, you really want to keep your knees in between your elbows the whole time. Yay! And I don't have my glasses. I see there's a comment and a question. I will come back to it in a minute. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. Now, this is called the bone saw move, popularized or at least invented by Kelly Starrett. You want to be pressing down. You want to cross your left ankle on top of your right and press down. And it's that pressing down action that makes this so potent and so sweet. Make sure you're staying in the fleshy part of your shin. You do not want to be hitting bone. If you're hitting bone, you need to turn your body a little more sideways. Press downward. All the way up to the point where the top of your foot hits the roller, all the way back up to the knee. And I know that hurts when you get down in there. This is really sticky. That doesn't mean don't do it. That means you need more of it. Feel that in my plantar fascia. Wah. This is why I say if you're having bouts of plantar fasciitis, chances are pretty good it's connected to the integrity of your shins, the tightness of your shins, and how much junk you have in this part of your foot. Right there, because that controls your foot mobility. When we're working on ankle strength, when we're working on ankle mobility, that is why. Moving to the other side. Woo! Ow. 4. Oof. 5. God help me. 6. Sorry, my wrists are not here today. That could be why. up my mileage in the last few weeks, and it is really obvious when I get on that roller. Yay, love you more, Morgan. I'm so sorry I made you wait for me for a while, but yay, it's worth it, right? Yay. Great to roll with you again. I've been missing your broadcast. Thank you. I've been missing you guys too, and I'm sorry about this. Life just got really complicated, and I needed to sort it and me out before I could think about anyone else. And now that I have, I love this shit. I love this. I love instructing. I love coaching. I love running, and I love you guys. So we're back on, and hopefully with the right infrastructure, the next time life gets in the way, I won't have to disappear again. Whew. Let's see how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Violet. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's okay.
We're gonna make a bottle.
Okay. I won't be long. Hey, baby snuggles. Oh, that's okay. You can walk in front of it. But it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna make sure Cheyenne's out.
Yeah, I'm like, she's still in the shower. Tell her she gets to do her word game if she comes up in the next 5 minutes. Cheyenne has missed you guys too, and she has a word game for you. She's very excited. She was the top fundraiser for Heart Health, the Jump Rope for Heart thing in February at her school, and she's very proud, and she wants to share with you all the stuff that she learned, whether you like it or not. So thank you for always being so kind to my daughter. She does not get enough attention in a family of 4, and the validation she receives here, it will keep her off of a pole someday. I'm convinced of it.
I love reading about puppies.
Yeah?
And this is called Puppy Secrets. That's right upstairs, my love.
Puppy secrets.
I'm reading Puppy Secrets.
That's so cute. Are you gonna do your word game tonight?
Yes, my word game.
Everyone's missed you.
Before I do my word game until you're done, can I do my reading passage from my homework? Because I have
Sure can.
one last reading passage and that's it for my homework.
Okay.
So I can turn it in right tomorrow morning.
I love your dedication. I'm proud of you for remembering that without me needing to tell you. I love being your mommy.
Me too. Hi everyone.
Go finish your homework.
Okay. Bye-bye. I'll be in the word game after this.
Comments from his family is first. I appreciate that. I really, really do. It's so hard to explain if you don't have a special needs kid. When you're entering the system, in most states, it's the toughest time. Once you're already in and you have an established rhythm and clearly defined set of needs, it is really hard. It can be very difficult to deviate from those needs and prove that you need more services. Generally speaking, they expect you need less over time. So without getting into the details or the ins and outs of what we went through, we definitely brought, we're shooting at a chipmunk with a cannonball, but I don't care. I stand by every decision that we made. It was the right one. We got what we wanted, and we are moving forward. And I did not expect that. I truly thought this could have ended with us getting nothing and me having to volunteer in my kid's classroom next year, which nobody wants that, especially me. Say hi. Can you wave hi? Wave hi. Oh. Get that phone. Get that phone. wave hello, and it's the best thing in the world when she does it.
Are you okay down here, Cheyenne, or do you want to take this upstairs? What's easiest for you? Down here. Is it okay if I work in your office? Like, do my homework in your office?
No, baby, you need to do it in here. There are too many things to distract you in my office, and too many things you can draw pictures on that are important.
Yeah, I'll be back to check on you. Milo and I are going to run some stairs.
That never gets better.
After 2 years, Elizabeth graduated at the top of her class at the medical school. She and her sister opened a clinic for women and children in New York City. They gave medical care
You know when you found your good man, 'cause it is the worst thing ever.
to the poor. Dr. Blackwell also opened a medical college for women. She trained women to become doctors. She also gave speeches and wrote books. Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell had courage and strong character. She worked hard for the things she wanted to do. Her work encouraged other women to become doctors.
That's perfect, baby. I love it. You read that so well and so smoothly. I couldn't be more proud of you.
What?
I could not be more proud of you. You read that very smoothly.
I love reading books. I read them very carefully, and if I get stuck on a word, I have to try and fix my.
Yeah, you do, baby. Yes, you do.
Alright, I have a pen. Alright. Who was Elizabeth? Wait, that's repeated. Mom, Miss Heidi made a mistake.
How? What's your mistake?
She repeated 2 questions.
Okay.
So here are the questions. Here's the question. It says, who was Elizabeth Blackwell? It says, the first woman to become a medical doctor in the United States. The first woman to become a medical the first woman to become a medical doctor in England. The first person to become a medical doctor in the United States.
Huh, she did repeat an answer. I say just circle the same one twice. The correct one twice.
Okay, I'll circle A and C.
Everybody makes mistakes, including teachers. it's our job not to laugh at them. It's just cruel.
The article describes a big problem that Elizabeth Blackwell had to deal with. What was the problem?
If you're doing 3 days at the fair, I know you've got tight lines too. This shit's awful. Okay.
Read these sentences from after her sister
Okay, that's it. Any questions, go ahead and throw them out here now. Don't forget, if you're interested in one of these 3 programs, email info@coachlove.com and we will get you in on the beta test. I'm excited to be able to do this. I never thought this was the when and the how, especially the how, that all of this would happen, but you know what? I'll take it. Yay! Thank you, Gretchen, for being here. Thank you for coming. Thank you, those got the string. You coached your love. Let's go in it Thursday, and I will let you know when this is going to become a regular thing again. Between now and having, but the programming schedule will become regular once these are open for business, or at least one of these is open for business, and after Violet has started daycare. Can you believe she's starting daycare? It's so crazy. Got about 5.5 weeks left, right? And then my life will be predictable. But until then, keep winning at life.